Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Got question Chase, has got the facts. Talking NFL numbers, he's got your back. A little chart trend ball, man, he's got it like that. Chasing data by do champions. Chasing data applies to everyone. Chasing data, yeah, we're live today. Chasing data for always. Chasing data by do champions.
Welcome to another week of Chasing Data. This week, we are done finally talking about the every team's need, AFC, NFC, and we're going to join in on the fun and do an analytics-based first-round mock draft. How much of this will you agree with? How much will you disagree with? We are in now, and we are going to get straight into it. There is no reason to really sugarcoat this or take forever. We kind of know how most of this is going to go. What's up, Adam? Appreciate you stopping by. We're going to get right into it with pick number 1. I mean, there's really not much to talk about here. We know that the Las Vegas Raiders are taking Fernando Mendoza. I mean, it is all but already written in stone at this point. I mean, he was the Heisman winner. He was the AP Player of the Year. He led FBS in touchdown passes with 41, just 6 interceptions, 72% completion percentage, over 3,500 yards. I mean, this guy... He's the prototypical frame. He's the prototypical leader. You see him layering touches down on throws downfield. He has elite baseline accuracy to build off of. He's probably not going to have to start week 1, being that they signed Kirk Cousins. I think that's a great player to learn from in Kirk Cousins as Fernando Mendoza learns the ropes of the NFL. He also has 0 red zone interceptions since 2024. If you had to choose a knock on him, it's probably his below average pocket mobility that he has. But I mean, we're really picking nits. I mean, it's a QB1, then it's quite a drop off thereafter in this draft. I mean, it's Fernando Mendoza and then way down Ty Simpson. So Fernando Mendoza goes to the Raiders. They try to rectify this franchise. They end up keeping Max Crosby. Would have been great if they could have had that second first-round pick and potentially got him another weapon, especially at the wide receiver room. They currently just have Trey Tucker as wide receiver 1. He does have Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty and an okay offensive line. Could be better, but we see what he can do in Las Vegas. Probably won't start week 1, like I said. Look forward to him starting maybe middle of the season. You know, Kirk knows he's not the future, but they want to ease him in. So we'll see what happens. Fernando Mendoza, pick number 1. And when you look at the Jets, this is when the question starts. They obviously need a quarterback, wide receiver, defensive line, cornerback, and linebacker. A lot of mocks have them taking one of the big 3 defensive ends that... Yeah, I think I'm trying to get trolled right here. Someone's telling me that the Raiders got A.J. Brown, what they trade, number 1 overall pick. But when you look at the Jets, they obviously are going to pick one of those probably top 3 defensive ends. It's what everybody's going to. They're not going to take Ty Simpson at number 2. I mean, they could probably get him at the earliest end of the first round. We know that they have holes all over this offense. Broncos trade back into the first round. Yeah, I'm sure they did. But as of right now, they are going to take the likes of a Ruben Bain, who has the short arm knock, Arvell Reese, who can line up as linebacker or defensive end, or David Bailey. In my opinion, I think they take the more proven player, and they go with my number 2 overall player in David Bailey. So, David Bailey, I have him as my edge number 1. When you look at the comp is for him to be more like Nick Bonito. That's who he comes out looking at this point. He had 14.5 sacks last year, which led the FBS. That's not everything. We saw what Mike Green did last year leading the FBS in sacks, and he really did not translate to the NFL in that first season. But he had 19.5 TFL. That is amazing, especially someone playing in a bigger conference. coming out of Texas Tech. And I mean, he has rare short area twitch, reactive agility, makes a ton of plays behind the line of scrimmage. He just needs to develop inside counters to exploit those oversets. I'm curious to see what Aaron Glenn can do with him in this defense. They need a big name player. They need someone that can go out and make huge splash plays for this defense. They have a lot of holes, especially after trading away Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner last year to get another first-round pick, which we will come back to in a little bit. Go Patriots, says Ryan. Yeah, go all teams. We will switch it up all throughout this podcast here. But I have them taking David Bailey at the number 2 overall pick. They could have gone Ruben Bain. They could have gone Arvell Reese, which I think is the more likely second option. Ruben Bain, I don't think is going to go to number 2 overall. And again, they're not going to take Ty Simpson. I do think it will be one of the edge players that go to the New York Jets at 2. They can double dip shortly after and go offense if they want to, or double dip on the defense. So number 3 is where things start to get a little more interesting. The Arizona Cardinals, they need a quarterback. They're not taking Ty Simpson here. Interior offensive line, yeah, they currently already have their bookend tackles on the roster somewhat. They have Paris Johnson, who they took in the last draft. They have on here running back. I mean, I still want to see what Trey Benson is going to do. I think it comes down between them deciding between Sonny Styles at linebacker, who would be a great new linebacker for them. They do have Mag Wilson, who's 28 years old, but they could upgrade there as well. But I think they're going to go offensive tackle, in my opinion, to get those bookends. I misspoke and said they already had them. They are going to get those bookends for the future. They are looking for 2027 and after to see what they're going to do with that 2027 first round pick as far as quarterback goes. You know, they already claim, or rumors are that they already have their eyes on Arch Manning out of Texas, but it's going to be 2027 where the quarterbacks are going to thrive more as far as their skill level versus 2026. We have Fernando Mendoza, and that's about it as of right now. But I have them taking Francis Mauigoa out of Miami. I have him as currently my number 3 overall prospect, offensive tackle 1. His comp is Fuaga from the Saints that just got drafted recently. 6'5.5", 329 pounds, 33 1/4 inch arms, 3-year starter captain. He's a dense build with a broad frame, well balanced when he's delivering pop in the trenches. His hands are patient. He has average, when you get to the knocks on him, he's average. He has average range when he's getting to the angles. He has lack of length. His lack of length limits his rush redirections. But, I mean, he's almost as sure of a thing that we would have, especially with the offensive line prospects this year, especially offensive tackle. But, I mean, I think, like I said, the Cardinals are looking more to 2027 than they are 2026. They're not going to overdraft a quarterback here and go for the likes of a Ty Simpson or someone else in this draft. So, moving on to number 4, man, this is, I mean, at these 3, 4, 5, I mean, these picks really get people going because you don't really know where they're going to go. There's a lot of speculation that these teams could make some splash plays. And especially at number 4, we have a lot of mocks saying that Jeremiah Love could go to the Tennessee Titans. I am not on that train. I mean, I know he may be best player available right now, and they do already have Tony Pollard, and it would be an upgrade probably to take Jeremiah Love. But when you look at the money that you're spending to take a Jeremiah Love at number 4 versus another running back that you could take, I mean, where you could save money by taking an edge player or a wide receiver. I think, what was it? Genty is paid the same amount as Jacoby Myers, and Jacoby Myers is the 31st highest paid wide receiver. So, I mean, wide receivers are valued way higher. So, we also need to see what Cam Ward is made of. And I know Jeremiah Love could help somewhat. And when you also look at the analytics side of this, Christian McCaffrey was ranked, I think, 19th overall in EPA added per play or per reception whenever you have all these wide receivers that can contribute much, much more in the pass game or to the offense overall versus a running back. So to me, I think it comes down to what's your flavor if you're Robert Saleh. Do you want Reuben Bain, Arvell Reese, or do you want to get Cam Ward some help on that offense to try to improve his future in Tennessee to see what you truly have in him? They took some swings with the wide receivers last year with DK Iomanor and didn't really hit. So if I am the Tennessee Titans, I think I go get a sure thing in wide receiver and draft Cornell Tate. I want to see what's going to happen with Cam Ward this year. How is he going to project going forward? They did add a good bit on the defensive side of the ball. They could have taken an edge right here, and I would not be upset. But I think they go wide receiver, and my wide receiver one in Cornell Tate, who is my 8th overall prospect, who is comp to Chris Olave at this point in time. He has plus agility, speed, body control. He's consistent route runner who leverages defenders out of position. He's almost as sure of a sure thing that you're going to get in the wide receivers this year in the draft. Some may have a higher upside, but he has the highest floor for sure, in my opinion. The knock on him is that he lacks the ideal body frame and build for a wide receiver one. But we're trying to get something sure into the building for Cam Ward that he'll have a go-to pass catcher, especially on third down, potentially even in red zone for sure. He was second-team All-Pro, 11 games last year, 51 receptions, 875 yards, and 9 touchdowns. When you look at the advanced passing numbers last year, Cam Ward was in the bottom 3 no matter how you sliced it. Completion percentage, passer rating. He was next to last in EPA per drop back. He was pressured way too much. I know they need offensive line help, but let's get him a wide receiver for this year and see what we can do with that first-round pick at number 4. So, going on to pick number 5, we have the Giants. The Giants here, they have a need at wide receiver. They could have potentially taken Cornell Tate if he's still on the board. Interior offensive line, DB, and linebacker. So when I look at this team, could they be a surprise team? I think it comes down, they're not taking, they have, a lot already in that front 4, even though Dexter Lawrence is on the trade block, per se. They could go interior offensive line. Vega Ione, I don't think is going to go there. But, honestly, to me, it comes down to Sonny Styles at 4. Or could they go ahead and go receiver again and go the likes of Mekhi Lemon? And the reason I wonder that is because they have Malik Neighbors, but if Malik Neighbors goes down, who do they have at wide receiver? We have already seen Malik Neighbors be injured, had a torn ACL last year. Their wide receiver 2 is currently Darius Slayton. They do not have any pass catchers in this offense. There's also been speculation of them taking Jeremiah Love. They already have Cam Scatteraboo and Tyrone Tracy. I don't think they're going to go 3 deep in the running back room at this point with 3 legitimate, arguably starters. And it's kind of hard for me to take Sonny Styles here. I know it is Harbaugh in the building now. I think I'd lean for them going a Mekhi Lemon who could be complementary to Malik Neighbors. They have another wide receiver if Malik Neighbors goes down. You want to see what you can do with Jackson Dart. The offense can improve the defense. The front 4 is going to carry them. What can they get back potentially if they do trade Dexter Lawrence? I don't know. I know Mekhi Lemon doesn't go this high in a lot of mock drafts, but I think they could shock a lot of people and take him here. He is my wide receiver 2. I have him 13th overall. He is that prototypical receiver that you see in Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's his comp. He's efficient with press release with early acceleration to bypass any defender. He's a route running savant. His ball tracking adjustments and catch timing are elite. He just needs a little more patience to prevent rushing the route. But he was Biletnikoff winner last year, first team All-Pro, 8th in receiving yards with almost 1,200, 79 receptions, 11 touchdowns. If they have a 1-2 punch with Malik Neighbors and Mekhi Lemon, this offense is going to look a lot better in 2026. Again, if they take the likes of Sonny Styles, I wouldn't be upset. Wouldn't be upset at all if they go Sonny Styles here. I think there's a lot of uncertainty with these early picks, and it's not clear-cut for sure where these teams could go. So then we look at the Cleveland Browns at 6. Says on here they need quarterback, tackle, guard, and wide receiver. they are hoping for one of the two of Maui Noah and Cornell Tate to be there at 6. In this mock draft, neither one of them are there. But we still have two of the top 3 defensive ends in Ruben Bain and Arvell Reese. Who do they go? They're not going to take Jeremiah Love. They're happy with Judkins. Caleb Downs is there. Sonny Styles is there. They just took Swessinger last year. They're not taking Styles. They could be a trade back candidate. But is this too early for them to take Spencer Fano? I don't think it is. I mean, the board has played out terribly for them because, like I said, they want Maui Noah or they want Cornell Tate, in my opinion. They're not going to take Downs. They're not going to take Love. They're not going to take Styles. Could they take Ruben Bain or Arvell Reese to pair opposite of Myles Garrett? Potentially. Could they go cornerback and take the likes of Mansour Delane? I mean, like I said, this is a terrible draw for the Cleveland Browns in this scenario. Their 3 biggest needs that I had for them were offensive line, wide receiver, and quarterback. Again, they're not taking Ty Simpson here. Do they go Jordan Tyson here? I don't know. I don't know that they go Jordan Tyson. Thank you for the roses. His injury history is what is scary to me. But I think they go with the offensive tackle out of Utah. They have to shore up that offensive line. It did not fall the way that they wanted to. I have him 14th overall, and he is my offensive tackle number 2. His comp is Brian O'Neill at 6'5 and a half, 311 pounds, 32 and 1/8 inch arms. The knock on him is that he lacks the upper body and core strength to sustain blocks at the pro level. He is not number 1. He has gone back and forth at times being the number 1 tackle. He does have extensive reps and prominent run blocking schemes. We're bringing in Todd Monken, who was there last year in the division in Baltimore. He has athleticism. He has adjustments that can spring runs and screens into space. We saw him do that a lot last year. I know that was a different offensive scheme, but that's the pros for him. They do need to shore up. It's the same thing as the Arizona Cardinals. They need to shore up that offensive line for 2027, for the quarterback that they take next year. Jelly, appreciate the follow. Who did I have the Cardinals taking at 3? I had them taking Francis Maui Noah. It was the same argument that I just made for the Browns taking an offensive tackle at 6 that the Cardinals are doing at 3. They are looking toward the future and their quarterback of the future and taking a offensive tackle to have 2 bookends for whoever they draft in 2027. So 1 through 6, recap. Mendoza at 1, David Bailey at 2, Maui Noah at 3, Cornell Tate at 4, Makai Lemon at 5, Spencer Fano at 6. So number 7, man, the Commanders are looking at this and are looking great. Oh, wow, nice. Nephew is friends with Ty Simpson. Could the Commanders, they have an embarrassment of riches as far as who they have their pick of the litter, taking someone here. It has fallen perfect for them. Could they take Jeremiah Love? They did take Jerome. They signed Jerome Ford, Rashad White, and they still have Bill Krosky-Merritt. Do they take Sonny Styles as the Bobby Wagner replacement? It's possible. Do they take Caleb Downs? They do need safety help. Do they take Mansour Delane? They could go cornerback as well. I had that as their top need. Do they go for another edge rusher? They did sign Odafe Owe. They did sign Clavon Chaisson. I think if I'm them, man, it is just pick your poison for them in a good way for what they want to do. If I am the Commanders here, I think that I go Caleb Downs. He's best available potentially at this point. For me, they really can't go wrong at this point. I have him as my number 5 overall. Number 1 safety. His comp is Jalen Petrie. 257 tackles in the last 3 seasons, 16 TFL, 6 interceptions. He's an agent of disruption near that line of scrimmage. He has twitchy change of direction, body control. He's a tackle magnet. He has great awareness. The only knocks on him is that he gets a little wild in the backfield, which is not always a bad thing. And he lacks the length to defend jump balls. But, he is about as sure thing. You saw what Nick Emmanwori did last year whenever they took him in the first round in Seattle. I'm curious to see what he could do if he's the back end of that defense in Washington. Again, if they took Jeremiah Love, I'm not upset. They took Sonny Styles, I'm not upset. If they take Reese or Bain, I'm not upset. If they take Mansour Delane, I'm not upset. Richard, appreciate you stopping by. We're going to get to the Vikings shortly. We're at pick number 7. But now we're at pick number 8 and the Saints. Jeremiah Love hasn't gone here. Where does he go? I don't think the Saints draft him because they just spent, what was it, $52 million on Travis Etienne this offseason. The Chiefs, the Bengals, the Dolphins. It's a lot of teams that have running backs already. So if you're the Saints, it says needs are wide receiver, running back, not necessarily running back. That's not correct. Guard, defensive line. Man, do they take someone like Sonny Styles to replace Demario Davis? Do they go cornerback with Mansour Delane? I don't think that's a bad thing. But they also have 2 of the top 3 edge players in Ruben Bain and Arvell Reese. The wide receivers have already fallen off. I don't think they want Jordan Tyson with his injury history per se. Man, I think it's going to be hard for them to pass up the likes of a Ruben Bain going to the New Orleans Saints and playing alongside opposite of Chase Young in that front 4. So with Ruben Bain, I have him as my number 7 overall prospect. He's my 3rd overall edge behind David Bailey and Arvell Reese. They have them 6 and 7. So his comp is Brandon Graham. He has the short arms. We know that. Average closing burst to the quarterback. This is 2 knocks on him. But when you look at the pros of him, 9.5 sacks last year, 20.5 over 3 years, almost 34 TFLs in 3 years. He stabs and shoves tackles off balance, creating inside openings. He has the power like a defensive tackle with an agility like an edge. You can bump him inside if you'd like as well. So, sure up that defense. We can get another wide receiver for Tyler Shough later on in the draft. So now we are currently at pick 9 with the Kansas City Chiefs. Like I said, Jeremiah Love's still on the board, but they signed and spent a lot of money on Kenneth Walker. They need a wide receiver as well. They need D-line help. They need safety help. My 3 biggest needs personally for the Chiefs were DB, D-line, and wide receiver. And right now, I think this is clear as day. They take Mansour Delane. I know Arvell Reese is still there. I know Sonny Styles is there. I know Jordan Tyson is there. But I go Mansour Delane if I am the Kansas City Chiefs, and I run in that pick. Last year, in the offseason, they lost Trent McDuffie. They lost Jalen Watson. Their top 3 are Noel Williams, the guy from Miami, and Christian Fulton. Chamari Connor's still there. They have 2 first-round picks, and I think it's likely that they use one of those 2 in the first round. Mansour Delane is CB1 for me. He was my 10th overall prospect. Quinyon Mitchell is his comp. He's a lockdown defender, loose-limbed, highly athletic, top-tier zone coverage. He has length. The knock on him is that he has aggressive hands. Again, that's not necessarily a terrible thing. He will get after the ball as well. So at number 10, man, this has played out well for the Cincinnati Bengals. It says interior offensive line, D-line, and safety. Sonny Styles is still there. Linebacker is also a need for them, in my opinion. My 3 top needs for them was linebacker at number 1, defensive interior, and DB. Mansour Delane's off the board. Defensive interior, a little too earlier to go interior players. I'm taking Sonny Styles. I'm running that pick in. Last year, they were last per PFF grades amongst linebacker cores. Demetrius Knight and Barrett Carter were their 2 picks last year. Really hasn't panned out. And if Sonny Styles is still there, you take that pick. You take it to the house, and you move on with the draft. There's nothing more to talk about. They're not going offensive line unless they went Benga or Ione, but I have them taking Sonny Styles with the 10th overall pick. So now we are through the top 10. Jeremiah Love is still on the board. Arvell Reese has fallen. It played out this way because we had Mendoza, Bailey, Maui Noah to the Cardinals, Cornell Tate, Mekhi Lemon is a surprise pick going to New York, so they will have a wide receiver 2 in New York when Malik Neighbors hopefully does not get injured. Caleb Downs to the Commanders. Saints take Ruben Bain. Cornerback 1 goes to the Chiefs. Linebacker goes to the Bengals and Sonny Styles. So when you look at the Dolphins, they have 400 needs. The only needs they really do not have is currently quarterback and running back. I know they're trying to make rumors about Achane being traded. I don't think it's going to happen. Wide receiver, DB, defensive line are my 3 top needs for them. Yes, they could go Denzel Boston. They could go Omar Cooper. They could go Jordan Tyson to get a wide receiver in the building. And that's probably what um, Malik Willis would like for them to do. They even could go Kenyon Sadiq, in my opinion. But I mean, Arvell Reese is still here. It's going to be hard to pass him up. They were last in PFF rush grade last year in Miami. They have no Bradley Chubb. Jalen Phillips was traded midseason, and they were 26th in quarterback pressure rate. Let's deploy Arvell Reese into this defense and let him just wreak havoc wherever he wants to. I have him as the 6th overall prospect. Muppet says bear down. We're going to get to the Bears in just a moment. We are currently at pick number 11. He's my 2nd overall edge 2 behind David Bailey. He's only 20 years old. 6.5 sacks last year, 10 TFLs. We're looking at the ceiling for him, what he can project to be. He still needs more upper body strength. He's affected by pre and post snap eye candy a lot, but he can be a Mike or a hybrid linebacker. Let's put him in this defense with Jeff Hafley. We saw what Jeff Hafley did with Ezra and Cooper in Green Bay. Let's see what he can do with Arvell Reese. He already has 3 to 4 go-to pass rush moves. So let's just deploy him on defense and let him go crazy. Who did the Bengals take? I had the Bengals getting a falling Sonny Styles. They did take Demetrius Knight and Barrett Carter last year, but their linebacker core was ranked last in the NFL per PFF. So we're going to Arvell Reese at number 11 for the Miami Dolphins. A great start for them, who do have a second, appreciate it, Indian curry spicy. They do have 2 picks in the first round, so they still can get their wide receiver for Malik Willis, because right now it's Jalen Tolbert, Tutu Atwell, and Van Jefferson. So moving on to pick number 12. Man, now it really gets interesting because Jeremiah Love is still here. Do the Cowboys take him? They do have Javonte Williams, but they do need a ton of defensive help on this team. This is a no trade first round. We may do another one with trades later on. It would be intriguing to take Jeremiah Love here, but this offense is just so high-powered already, and we know how terrible the defense is, in Dallas. So if I am the Dallas Cowboys, I'm probably looking to trade back, honestly, for somebody who needs a running back potentially, or even Vanga Ione. I mean, he's still there. But for me, they need cornerback help. They need safety help altogether. I mean, there is a lot that they could do here to help them. But if I am the Dallas Cowboys, I am going Jeremiah McCoy right here. They need cornerback help, in my opinion. I think that's their biggest need potentially. They could go edge. They could go safety with Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, my number 2 safety. But I have them taking Jeremiah McCoy. Jeremiah McCoy, I have as the 15th overall prospect, CB2 in this draft class. Tyson Campbell is his comp. He's explosive. We know he had the ACL injury in 2025, but he's already back. He's looking good at his pro day, ran an amazing 40 time. Had 16 pass breakups, 6 interceptions in the last 2 seasons that he played. He has fluid movement, change of direction. He engulfs wideouts. He just loses poise at times. But, I mean, they just need so much help on the defense. It's going to be hard for him to pass up Jeremiah Love, but that offense is just so high-powered that they have to pass him up and continue moving on. So now we have the Los Angeles Rams. And honestly, they already, man, this is getting crazy with what is going on with Jeremiah Love. But I think there's a way that this plays out if we're not having any trades where Jeremiah Love falls this far in the draft. So we have the Los Angeles Rams. Do they go Ty Simpson here? I think it's too early. It says quarterback, and cornerback. My biggest needs for them where they could go wide receiver to get a wide receiver to help replace Devontae Adams at times, or they could go tight end, or they could go offensive tackle. There's no offensive tackles at this point. I'm not going Blake Miller this early. Monroe Freeling potentially. I think it's between Kenyon Sadiq at tight end, Jordan Tyson, and I mean, I think that's it. I think it's between those two, the way this is played out. And if I'm them, I know they have an injury-riddled Jordan Tyson there, but I think you have to take him. I mean, I think the fall stops here. I have him at number 16. He's my wide receiver 3. The comp is Terry McLaurin. He can play every wide receiver spot. The ball skills are impeccable for him. he's an outstanding run blocker, and we know how they feel about run blockers in Los Angeles, especially look at Puka Nacua. The injuries and the drops are the two knocks on him, especially soft tissue injuries that he's had. But when you look at him, he was third team All-Pro, AP All-American last year, 700 plus receiving yards, 8 touchdowns in 9 games. I think they take him and they shore up that wide receiver 2 spot if Davante Adams gets hurt again. So now we're at pick number 14, and the Baltimore Ravens, while it says their needs are wide receiver, guard, and defensive line, they have an offensive coordinator in there who is not afraid to deploy 2 running back backfields. And I think the free fall stops for Jeremiah Love. Now, their needs, do they necessarily need a running back? No. But, I mean, if you could have Derrick Henry and Jeremiah Love here, man, I don't know. Do they take him or do they take Vangaione? I think they take, man, this is hard for them because they need interior offensive line, especially after Tyler Linderbaum left. They're not going to be able to run the ball if they don't have interior offensive line help in Baltimore. It is hard for me to go past it, but I think they have to do the smart thing and take Vangaione here. I know Jeremiah Love would be a great flashy pick for them, but they have to go Ione here. He's number 1 guard, number 1 interior offensive lineman. His comp is Cooper Beebe from Dallas. He's 6'4", 320, 32 and 3/4 inch arms, prototypical guard build, thick, broad. He creates leverage with upward hand strikes and rolls hips under his hands. He loses track of stunting linemen crossing his face. That's his only knock, but they have to be smart and take him here. Now, the Tampa Bay Bucks, they have Bucky Irving, and I think they stick with him. It says here, cornerback, guard, edge, and linebacker. They did lose the likes of Jamil Dean in free agency this year. Where do they go? As far as cornerbacks that are available, they have Avion Terrell. They have Colton Hood. I can't speak now. As far as edge players, they have Keldrick Falk. Offensive tackles, Monroe Freeling, Pregnon. I think that's way too early to take him. Linebackers, they currently have CJ Allen. I think they take best player available and they go Jeremiah Love here. I know they have Bucky Irving, but man, they cannot pass up Jeremiah Love, who has free fallen all the way to 15. This could definitely be a trade up spot or a trade back spot if you're the Bucks, but Jeremiah Love is gone here. 2,500 plus rush yards, 35 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons, 27 receptions, 280 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns last year. He has a workhorse mentality, but had just 20 plus carries 3 games last year. Instant re-acceleration, speed to outflanking corner as an outside runner. He's a run finisher. He never fumbles. He protects with consistent readiness. I mean, we're really getting picky with the negatives for him. I know they have Bucky Irving in Tampa Bay, but they cannot pass up Jeremiah Love, and the free fall ends at pick number 15. Now, the Vikings would have loved for him to get there. Potentially they trade up, but we are now on to the Jets. We had the Jets taking David Bailey at number 2, so you already have their edge player. Where do they go here? I don't think they take Ty Simpson here. Ty Simpson is way too early to take him. My needs for the New York Jets were wide receiver, quarterback, and edge. It's currently Garrett Wilson, A.D. Mitchell, and friends there. I think they could go Omar Cooper here and get a steady wide receiver 1-2 combo in New York. They go Omar Cooper, who I have currently is my 22nd overall prospect. He's wide receiver 5. Deebo Samuel is his comp. He has 20 touchdowns since 2024, 13 last year. He had 69 receptions for 937 yards. He welcomes physical play and wins through contact. He's very versatile. He's just inefficient at getting in and out of intermediate breaks. But I think he's a good complementary piece to Garrett Wilson in this offense, getting ready for a quarterback in 2027. So now we are at 17, and I think the Detroit Lions are running in this pick of Monroe Freeling. He is more of a raw player. I have him as my 28th overall prospect, 3rd overall offensive tackle. His comp is Broderick Jones, which is not the best. But he's 6'7", 315, 34 and 3/4 inch arms. He's long limb with that frame that can add mass. He has plus athletic ability. He just has inconsistent feel and execution, hand placement, and he's stiff at times. But if they could get him in and hopefully work him in to be the other bookend opposite of one Penei Sewell in Detroit, they go on with that pick and move on with their day. So now we have the Minnesota Vikings. They have needs at running back, center, and DB. I think here at this point, they could go. They don't have safety written on here, but I think they go Dylan. I think it's their pick of McNeil Warren and Thieneman. I have Thieneman above McNeil Warren. McNeil Warren is a higher ceiling, but I trust Thieneman more at this point, and they need someone to replace Harrison Smith. So Dylan Thieneman out of Oregon. He's my 2nd overall safety. His comp was Javon Holland. I think he'd fit in perfectly into that Brian Flores scheme. He has rare production, 306 tackles, 8 interceptions in 3 seasons. He has the highest IQ amongst all the safeties in this draft potentially. He just needs better hand usage to stack and play off blocks, and he has average stopping power. But if I'm Brian Flores, Kevin O'Connell, I'm running this pick in, replacing Harrison Smith in that secondary, and moving on with my day if I'm the Minnesota Vikings. Now we have the Carolina Panthers, whose roster looks better than what you may think that it does at this point in time. So if I'm the Carolina Panthers, you have Ted McMillan, Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. You have Jalen Coker. Xavier Legette has not played out like you'd like. They go out and take Jalen Phillips. They go out and sign Devin Lloyd. They still have needs at certain positions, but it's not huge needs. Could they take a Kenyon Sadiq? Potentially. They're not taking Denzel Boston. Keldrick Falk? No, I don't think they're taking Cassius Howell. Akeem Mesidor potentially. If I am them, who am I taking? They would be a great Jeremiah Love team, but his free fall has already stopped much earlier in the draft. When I am looking at who is available here, based on where this is going, I think I go out and I take. They double dipped last year with the edges with Prince and Nick Scorton in the early rounds. Man, this is a tough pick for them. It has not played out too well. Man, I'm thinking. If I'm the Panthers, right now, Kenyon Sadiq is still there, and your tight ends are Tommy Tremble and Jatavion Sanders. I think if Kenyon Sadiq falls this far, you get Bryce Young another weapon. I wanted to go wide receiver 2 here, but I go Kenyon Sadiq if I am the Carolina Panthers. I currently have him as my 20th overall prospect, tight end 1. Trey McBride is his comp. He has great strength in a frame, runs a robust route tree, big hand strength, which is what Bryce Young needs. 2nd team All-American last year, 8 reception touchdowns, which was tops in the NCAA as far as tight ends go. 51 receptions, which was a school record. You take him, and he's tight end 1 for this team from day one. So moving on to pick number 20, we have the Dallas Cowboys again. Earlier on at pick number 12, they go DB with Jermiah McCoy. At this point, I think they go Akeem Mesidor. I'm very high on him, even though he's older. I am running in this pick if I am the Dallas Cowboys. They do need front four help, in my opinion. I have him as my 29th overall prospect. Jonathan Grenard is his comp. He's 25 years old. That's why he's fallen this far. He lacks desired length and height as an NFL edge, but he was third last year with 12 and a half sacks, fifth with 17 and a half TFLs, sixth with 4 forced fumbles. He can use finesse and power. I know they took Donovan Ezaraku last year, but they need some more help in that front four after the departure of Michael Parsons. They have Rashawn Gary. I don't like Rashawn Gary as a starting edge. We saw how much he fell off a cliff once Michael Parsons was traded, or once he went down in Green Bay, I should say. Rashawn Gary's production instantly went down alongside that injury with Michael Parsons. So now we have 21. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're still assuming that Aaron Rodgers is coming back. I mean, they still need a quarterback, but I don't think they're taking Ty Simpson right here. When I look at the Steelers, outside of quarterback, they need offensive tackle. They need wide receiver. They need more dynamic playmakers alongside DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman. So when I look at this, what's left here as far as the wide receivers go? Casey Concepcion is there. They're not taking Denzel Boston. That's a too duplicative in Pittsburgh. Bills winning the Super Bowl this year. We will see. Heard that before, but we will see what happens. So, offensive tackles. I think they go Blake Miller here. Broderick Jones has not played out the way that they would like them to. The defense is set as is. I mean, they could add more, but this is a little bit higher than Blake Miller probably should go. But I'm taking him here if I am the Pittsburgh Steelers. His comp is Roger Rosengarten, 6'7", 317 pounds, 34 and a fourth inch arms. The knock on him is that he has unsteady footwork. He's coming from Clemson. He's an Iron Man. He has 54 starts, lateral quickness and fluidity, and right tackle ideally. Could they bump right tackle to left tackle potentially? But I think they need to shore up those bookends. As a Broncos fan, do you think that the interception against the Bills was a catch? Not necessarily a Broncos fan. I'll go for all teams to switch up the jerseys each and every week, but I think it could be interpreted either way. I know that's a cop out as far as a answer, but I mean I think it could have been an incomplete pass. Honestly, playing at full speed. But so now we're at pick number 22. We have the Los Angeles Chargers, and their needs, according to me, their top 3 biggest needs are guard. Vanga Ione is long gone. Edge and wide receiver. It's okay, but it could be better. I think they go the likes of right now. If Keldrick Falk's here, I think he goes there. I think it's pretty written in stone, in my opinion, that they take Keldrick Falk. They have Khalil Mack on a 1-year deal. They have Tuli still there, who is up and coming. He's 21. He's younger, so they don't need him necessarily to produce right now, but he could learn under Khalil Mack and be another player to groom in this defense. Terry, I understand. But he's my edge number 4. His comp is Carlos Dunlap. He had a down year last year with just 2 sacks versus 7 the year before, but he's a leader. He's 21 years old. He has a diverse set of rush moves. He just needs more violent hands. But I think he could come in and be ready, if not necessarily this year in that defense, next year. Because there are no interior offensive linemen that I'm willing to take right now at this point in the first round if I am the Chargers. So now we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, if they trade A.J. Brown, they're going Denzel Boston easily as a replacement. But that's not what they're doing. Kenyon Sadiq is gone. I think they go offensive lineman, and I think they go Caden Proctor here. Reason they do that is because Lane Johnson is barely back. He's barely back. We don't know what his health is going to be like this year, and this may be his last year in the NFL, honestly. Caden Proctor has highs at times, but he also has some lows. But I think they take him, and they don't need him to play right away. They just need him to be there for the future. At number 24, we have the Cleveland Browns again. They took the tackle out of Utah at number 6 because Cornell Tate and Francis Maui Noah were both gone at this point. So they had to take the other offensive tackle. So now they're not taking quarterback. They're not taking Ty Simpson here, but they already have their offensive tackle. I think they go offensive tackle, wide receiver in the first round. The defense is okay as is. They could add more, but I don't think that they will. And I think they go out, and as we're set right now, the wide receivers that are left are Denzel Boston and KC Concepcion. KC Concepcion is an option here. He just has average size. They already have Jerry Jeudy. So I think they go get their big boy in Denzel Boston. Is he the best fit? Maybe not, but I think I take him here. He's my 27th overall prospect. He has 62 receptions, 881 yards, 11 touchdowns last year, 20 in the last 2. He has good early acceleration. He plays faster than his speed. He's a big body target. We're trying to groom and get ready for the 2027 quarterback that is coming in next year for the Cleveland Browns. At 25, we have the Chicago Bears. It has 2 needs on here, edge and defensive line. If I'm them, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren is here. I know they brought in Kobe Bryant. I'm taking Emmanuel McNeil-Warren for the now and for the future. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, I have him. He could go much earlier than this, but I have him free falling at this point. But I have him as my number 19 overall prospect. Safety number 3. He's tall, long-limbed, rangy. He's a big hitter, 9 career forced fumbles. He is more of a high ceiling, low floor. You could get some bad out of him. He bounces around too much versus the run. He's not a good coverage piece per se, but I think I take him if I am the Chicago Bears and I shore up that back end alongside Kobe Bryant. Number 26, we have the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills, their 3 biggest needs for me were safety, linebacker, and guard. Guard was the lowest one. I mean, they could go wide receiver, but Denzel Boston's not here. I don't think they're going KC Concepcion. They could, I guess, but I don't think that they are. But for me, I think they go linebacker and go CJ Allen here. CJ, they could go interior defensive lineman. I don't think they do. But CJ Allen, linebacker 2. Zaire Franklin is his comp. He's a green dot linebacker, patient and tough. He's average versus man. He can raise the floor of a defense, in my opinion, though. He was first team All-American, 88 tackles, 8 TFLs, 3.5 sacks, 4 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles. Then he comes in and instant starter for this Bills defense, in my opinion. So at number 27, we are almost to the end of the first round. We have the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers, wide receiver, even though they just brought in the likes of Christian Kirk and Mike Evans, you still have Ricky Pearsall, guard, offensive tackle, edge, and safety. So if they're not going edge with TJ Parker, Cassius Howell, they're getting an offensive tackle to shore up for the future of Trent Williams or the near future, in my opinion. But at this point, they could also go cornerback. I mean, cornerback is definitely an option for them. Oh, man, let's see. What do we have left here? I think if I'm them, I'm taking Colton Hood, honestly. They need some secondary help. I know they need some front 4 help, but I go Colton Hood. His comp is Carson Davis. He's physical in coverage. He's a jump ball winner. He's disciplined. His hips get sticky at times, and he can get grabby. But they need help all on this defense. I know they had a lot of injuries last year. Nick Bosa's back. But I think they go with Colton Hood in the first round. Had to look up who Jesse Spencer is. I guess that's a compliment, but I appreciate it. So we move on to 28. So we now have the Houston Texans. Current needs, run backer and interior offensive lineman. Do they go Jadarian Price here? I don't think they do. I think it's a little too early for them. They have these edges still available. If I'm them, I think I go, man, I had their three biggest needs as interior offensive lineman, linebacker, and defensive interior. Whew. It's kind of hard to go here, but I think that we go Caden McDonald. If he's still here, I think they take him. It's not their biggest need, but I think they take it. They needed a run stuffer. And right now, Caden McDonald is my 18th overall prospect. He's my number one defensive tackle. He had 9 TFLs, 3 sacks, rare tackle TFL production for a defensive interior. He is well built. The knock on him is that he's displaced too much on hip-to-hip blocks. But I'm taking him if I'm the Texans. I know that defense, the rich just gets richer. But I don't know if I really want any of these offensive linemen at this point. They do have an early second-round pick that they could go get that another offensive lineman if I'm them. Who hangs up the phone first? Appreciate it, T. Who hangs up the phone first? Lions trade Sam Laporta and a third for Brown's 6th overall pick. I think the Browns hang the phone up because they have Harold Fannin Jr. So now we have just 4 more picks. We're at the Kansas City Chiefs' second first-round pick. With their first pick, they took Mansour Delane. But with the 29th overall pick, I said DB was their top need, I believe. Their second biggest need, defensive line and wide receiver. So wide receivers that are available right here, Casey Concepcion, but edge players that are also available, Cassius Howell, TJ Parker, R. Mason Thomas, Zion Young. Man, Cassius Howell, I think I take best available between the wide receivers and the edges. And right now, my best available based on how this is played out is currently TJ Parker. That's who we go with if we are the Kansas City Chiefs. He's my overall 5th best edge. He had 11 sacks, 19.5 TFLs last year, 6 forced fumbles in 2024. He has upper body strength. We know Chris Jones is getting older. Long arms, but he lacks firm pop into the first contact. But he could come in with opposite of George Karlaftis and really do something in Kansas City. I know the wide receivers have not played out to the liking of Chiefs fans. Rashee Rice had a great first year. Second year was not – or last year was not that great. Xavier Worthy has not played that well. They did bring back Tyquan Thornton. So, I mean, Mahomes, we know, can make it work. Does he need help? Yes. But they need pressure help. Only Chris Jones and Karlaftis are the only 2 that are back. They had 25-plus pressures last year, and they were 26 with 35 sacks. Let's get some more help in that defensive front 4 and bring in TJ Parker for the Kansas City Chiefs. So now we have the Dolphins with their second first-round pick in this year's draft. With their first pick, Arvell Reese fell all the way to them at number 11, and they need wide receiver help. This is where Casey Concepcion goes right here for me. He gets into the first round. They need wide receiver help. It may be a little rich for some people's likings. I have him ranked outside of the first round, but his comp is Doug Baldwin. He has 15.1 yards per catch last year, 61 receptions, 900-plus yards, 9 touchdowns. He led the team in yards, receptions, and touchdowns. He was a first-team All-Pro last year, All-American, I should say. Average size, but he gets open better than anyone maybe in this draft. The knock on him is obviously the drops, but we can work on that. We know Malik Willis needs some help. Now, will the New England Patriots still have this number 1 their first-round pick, or do they trade it for A.J. Brown? In this draft, this mock draft, we have them still retaining their first-round pick. Their number 1 need is still wide receiver, but there's no wide receivers for them to take at this point in the draft. Chris Bell, maybe? No, they're not taking none of those players. They signed Dobbs, but they still are without a wide receiver 1, in my opinion, for Drake May and his deep ball. They did sign Draymond Jones, but edge is still probably their biggest need outside of wide receiver. They were bottom third of the league as far as pass rush, and they were 26th in sacks last year. When you look at the edge players that are available right now, they could also look at offensive tackle for an heir to Morgan Moses. They got Cassius Howell, Mason Thomas. Look at offensive tackles. I think they go Lomu here. Sure up that heir to Morgan Moses in the future. I have Caleb Lomu as my 30th overall. If they don't go Lomu, they go Cassius Howell, in my opinion, just for the record. His comp is Dan Moore Jr., 6'6", 313 pounds, 33 and 3/8-inch arms. He's athletic. His hands are great. Knock on him is that speed rushers can get him. But that's where we're at for them right now. But I feel like that pick could be traded away. And at number 32, biggest needs for Seahawks says interior offensive lineman. I don't know about that. Now, could they get Avion Terrell out of Clemson to replace the loss of Reek Woolen? Yes. Could they go Jadarian Price and get a running back? Yes. Could they trade out of the first round as well? Yes. Could they get Cassius Howell to replace Boye Mafe, who went to the Cincinnati Bengals? Yes. All valid thoughts. But I think, Jadarian Price is very good, but this is way too early to be taking him. I think I go cornerback here, and they go Avion Terrell. So, well, that went to the next page very quick. So when you look at Avion Terrell out of Clemson, when I looked at him, he was my number, where is it? 23 overall, CB3. He has smooth hip flip with a quick acceleration into top speed. He just has a slender build. He had 21 pass breakups over the last 2 seasons. But I think they take him with the last overall pick in the first round. They're not trading Cortland Sutton. So to summarize everything that we have here, this is no trade. We'll probably do another one later on with some trades, but this is what we're doing for the first round mock draft in 2026. If you don't follow Do Champions, follow them on all social media platforms. Follow myself, King NFL Stats, for all analytics-based information on the NFL. Every team, no one team. We switch it up every single day, especially going into the draft. But this is where we land for 2026 round 1. We'll be intrigued to see what happens whenever it actually gets here. But appreciate everybody stopping by. Catch you on the next week, next Tuesday.